pretty strong player, has a few open top 8s, has done much in Magic throughout the years.
He's playing against David Bauer. Both these players currently kind of on the cusp of being able to be in the top 8. I would say that David is really the one who's still alive for top 8 here. Eli's trying to sneak into top 16 or top 12.
Yeah, even with a win-win, it's pretty hard.
The win-win is very hard for Eli to get it.
David Bauer, however, with a win-win,
yeah,
I think it's pretty good that he can make it. Pretty good chance.
Definitely. Well, especially because there's going to be some pair downs happening with all these players at the top who played each other. And it shouldn't be surprising at all that if David can win and get into the top 8. David, kind of in the tank here, looks like.
Eli Kassis.
Yeah, David's on Maverick. No Glare of Subduals in this deck. So he does have a Peacekeeper in his main deck. I don't know if that would have stayed in against Sneak and Show. My guess is not. Peacekeeper, if you remember, is a 1/2 for 3 with the ability you have to pay 2 mana every upkeep, but it says creatures cannot attack.
It's a pretty good card.
Very good card.
Eli playing a traditional Sneak and Show style deck. It has the Grizzlebrands. A good deal of 3-ofs and some 4-ofs. The reason you play 3 of a lot of these cards that seem like bullets is because you were playing Intuitions. So you want to be able to Intuition for your card. And if you don't have 3 left in your deck, that's because you've already drawn 1, and then you don't need to Intuition for it.
So David's sideboard is 15 1-ofs. So let's see. Going through a couple ones that may help him here. He has a Caracas. That is almost certainly going to be in. He has Enlightened Tutor. That's probably not coming, I don't think. We have a Crypt, a Wheel of Sun and Moon, Ethersworn Canonist. All hate cards for Phyrexian Revoker. Well, all these are hate cards for combo. With the exception of Revoker, none of them are probably correct hate cards for this combo. A Revoker will hit the sneak attack half, not the show and tell half. Similar thing with Harmonic Sliver, which he has 1 of in his sideboard.
Yeah, Eli has 12 1-ofs in his sideboard, and a 3-of.
Right.
Only card in the sideboard it's not a 1-of is Relic of Virginitas. But he does have Sabo's Web. Interesting one. We have a Curse Totem, a Defense Grid. Lots of interesting cards here.
Yeah, almost none of those will come in here, I don't think.
Curse Totem.
Curse Totem could.
Against Maverick, right? Shuts off.
Yeah.
Almost everything. Like it shuts down Noblehire, Mother of Runes, Fauna Shaman, Scavenging Ooze, Kasali Pride Mage, Knight of the Reliquary.
That'll probably come in then, I suppose. It doesn't. The only thing what it doesn't do is it doesn't slow down David's clock all that much. David leading up on Caracas here, which is pretty good. It puts Eli a little bit on the defensive side of things. Eli with the pedal.
Eli also has a Caracas of his own, which he can bring in to Legend Rule away. David has a turn 2 Thalia, one of the best cards he could have in that spot. And Eli's going to brainstorm looking for something that can answer that Linvala.
Yeah, end of turn brainstorm, not exactly an exciting play, but
I believe it's in response to the Thalia.
Yeah. Oh. Well, it's still the same thing as, because he's going to draw one of these cards that he puts back. Granted, if he has a show and tell, all he needs is an Ancient Tomb and a show and tell, and none of this will really matter here. All right, he's gonna force a Will to Thalia. He did have a show and tell.
Ooh, and if he's pitching that show and tell,
well, my guess is that the only thing he can put into play is Legendary, which may mean he needs to find another way.
He needs to find a Caracas of his own, perhaps.
Yeah. Of his things he can show and tell into play, he has 3 Gristlebrand, 4 Emrakul. He'll go for show and tell anyway. Let's play 5 face down. Knight of the Reliquary comes show and tell, and Gristlebrand. He's very aware that this card will probably not stick. It's going to get Caracased. But he's going to hope, once they both resolve, maybe he's going to hope to draw his own Caracas, which he won't be able to play this turn because he's already made Ancient Tomb.
See, was he able to find it?
There's another Lotus Petal. Probably just emptying the cards out of his hand that he can. I don't see another Caracas in there.
Yeah, so no Caracas there for Ely. Now, pondering this decision here. You can decide what he's going to discard.
Discard Emrakul and shuffle everything back in.
This seems like a very solid plan.
And that'll be
Ely only had to discard one card
yeah.
for the draw 7?
Well, he does have Lotus Petals in play too.
Yes.
And he forced the previous turn, so he really did a number on his own hand size.
Again, we're seeing Maverick having to fight against one of these powerful combo decks.
Yeah, David Bauer doesn't have a green source, which is probably the weakest part here, and he also doesn't have a card he can sack for a green source with the Knight of the Reliquary. So the Knight is really just a gray, it's a 2/2 right now. But the Caracas can bounce the Gristlebrand, which will happen here, and then he'll probably go back on the attack.
And it's super important. You get that Gristlebrand off the table, and Ely's chances of winning drop drastically.
And he's going to go ahead and waste the Tomb. I don't really like that play because I feel like lands are more important to David than they are to Ely at this point. He did just draw 7 cards. I imagine Ely will just replace his own lands. Alright, the Gristlebrand bounce does happen though. I think where David might be thinking is that he just doesn't need a colorless mana. The only mana that matters to him is Caracas as the spell, and he needs a green source, which he doesn't have. So why not trade lands, even though Ely probably does have the replacement.
That's very reasonable. And also something to note, David Bauer, by using the Wasteland there, has changed his clock with this Knight of the Reliquary from 5 turns to 4 turns. And that's definitely relevant when you're playing against a combo deck that needs to find pieces.
Well, especially because Force of Wills, and any Force of Wills that Ely might have now will also knock a turn off the clock.
So another Scalding Tarn.
So another Scalding Tarn. So now he drops to 6. And the Caracas really doing a number on him. He's going to have to find. Does he have any Pithing Needles in his board? Let's see.
It doesn't look like his board is crazy with 1/ofs.
Yeah, no Pithing Needles either. He just has a Caracas of his own, which is really what he's going to have to do. He could find Through the Breach when this Caracas is tapped, and Emrakul David Bauer to get rid of the Caracas.
Yeah.
He does have 1 Through the Breach on the board. They're gonna go do Show and Tell again though. He showed Sneak Attack into play. And now he's going to sneak attack something. Is it an Emrakul? It is an Emrakul.
And
that will be all of David Bauer's permanents.
Going to be enough.
Well, we do know that there's a Gristlebrand coming next turn, so Bauer, sacrificing everything, drops down to 15. Yeah, well, they'll play it out, This is over.
Now playing for all of it. But I mean, yeah, Ely.
Yeah, all right, and there's a concession there. So Ely Kassis defeats David Bauer 2-1 in a close game 3 that we saw there. Where Ely he dropped himself to a low life total and had to find a way around Caracas to win the game. But in Maverick versus Gristlebrand, I think in both these matches we saw here, we kind of saw that playing unfair beats playing fair.